Clay Farm is a farming life sim developed by Phoenix Labs and is available to play on Nintendo Switch and PC. There was so much hype with this one, with multiplayer, platforming elements, and great farming mechanics. So does it live up to the hype? Keep watching to find out. Also, a big thank you to the people at Phoenix Labs for providing me with a review code. You'll play as a customized character of your own design who has essentially traveled to the island of Azoria, but due to some whirlpools surrounding the island, you're the only one who actually makes it. The mayor is so ecstatic that you've arrived, as you're the first in a long time, and she sets you up with a farm just beyond the center of town. She'll teach you the basics of farming and refers you on to some other townsfolk to learn other things such as fishing and fighting. You'll need to explore a local mine to solve the whirlpool issue, and from there you can explore further beyond the town, reaching new areas. You'll kind of come across a problem in each new area, which generally requires you to travel to the bottom of a mine system. Overall, I didn't find the story to be super detailed. It kind of felt more like a means to keep progressing and unlocking new areas. Also, just a quick side note, I post reviews here basically every single week and I play all sorts of great games, so feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. So in classic farming life sim style, you'll have a farm to manage where you plant and harvest crops, care for animals, and craft various goods. You'll have a map filled with NPCs to get to know, several mine systems where you need to engage in combat while also mining rocks and minerals, and other odd things such as fishing, bug catching, and side quests. Really a very average farming game in that aspect. Where it stands out, however, is the fact that this world has magic and you'll eventually be able to travel to another magical realm. Back to the farming, it's all quite standard here for the most part. You can take care of crops, however you only have access to a handful of the same crops, things like cauliflower and beans. When the seasons change, the crops stay the same. If you want different crops, you'll have to get a special fertilizer to change the crop to that season's crop. I didn't really get the purpose of this at all, and honestly, I didn't really like it. I mostly just stuck to the same basic crops, which got boring quite quickly. You can have farm animals as well, and they are so darn cute. You can let the animals out and they kind of just hang around your farm, and it just makes that farming vibe so much cuter. I really love these animals. Each sort of barn you have for your animals is set in a certain location on different areas of your farm. You can't choose where to put these, which isn't that big of a deal at all. However, you'll eventually get farm space that is quite a distance from your home, so you can't really have all your animals together, which I would have preferred. There is a lot of crafting here as well, which I absolutely loved. You'll be able to build various machines to craft clothes, lots of cooking, furniture, ingots, and the like. On top of this, you can customize your farm, and you can get really creative here as you have the ability to decorate with so many adorable items. And I mean, if this game is anything, it's cozy. The art style is amazing and it makes decorating your farm so much fun. The map you find yourself in is limited by various blockades at the beginning of the game, which you can slowly open up as you progress through the story, which makes for some exciting progression. There's a main town, a beach, woods, and several other areas. It's really quite a beautiful map with tons of detail, and it just feels like a really cozy town. The NPCs that fill it up, I did find a bit lacking. While there's relationship building, it did not feel like it. It doesn't feel like you're getting any closer to these characters. I went on 3 dates with someone and he said like 2 sentences about not being great on dates, and that was pretty much it. It never felt like I was making any progress with him, so I kind of gave up. And I felt the same way with the other characters as well. They just felt kind of robotic and like non-feeling NPCs. If an NPC owns a shop, that's pretty much where they stay. Some NPCs don't move at all, others move a little bit, and others move quite a lot. Overall, it makes the town feel a bit lifeless. Beautiful, but lifeless. Onto the shops themselves, and there's several different ones here where you can buy seeds, furniture, tool upgrades, home upgrades, and random bits and bobs. The crop stall sells exactly the same thing year round because seasonal crops don't change, which kind of ruins that excitement when you start a new season and you rush to the seed shop to see what new crops you can grow. Other than that, there's quite a cute selection of furniture and decorations you can buy, and I really like the design for these, although I found it quite difficult to save up enough money as well as providing the necessary materials. Also, side note, money can be a bit hard to come by in this game. Making gems is where it's at. The game offers clothing customization as well, which are super cute, although I did find items very hard to come by. I think in my entire playthrough, and I finished the game completely, I maybe got a couple of items. I found this quite disappointing, as that's the first thing I was looking forward to when I started the game, was just customizing my character and making her look super cute, but it took me a very long time to do that. You've also got standard bug catching and fishing here. I quite liked these, especially in this beautiful and cozy setting. Very relaxing to spend some time catching cute little fat frogs and other bugs. Onto the mining, which oddly is basically the story of the game. As I mentioned above, you'll need to get to the bottom of the cave to progress the story, and then you'll find another cave to get to the bottom, and you just repeat that a few times with some other things scattered in between. I do wish there was more here. I love having a ton of quests to do at one time, but I found myself mostly with a single quest to do at any one time, and that was to reach the bottom of the mines. This made me have quite a few long pauses in between play sessions, as I just didn't want to keep mining. To be fair, these cave systems are pretty cool. You start off with your basic cave, but then you move on to these other really cool caves which have like a magical kind of theme and a lava one as well. I did appreciate the detail and creativity that went into these. The enemies in these caves are also quite unique, with little cannon creatures and wheels with lots of tricky attacks that you'll need to avoid. With the side quests, there was a couple of great ones at the start where you got to know the villagers and help them out with some problems, but that fizzled out quite quickly. The friendship quests as well was pretty much just finding someone a random item each day, so that got old very quickly. Overall, I found the game was good, but I think it was lacking in quite a few areas. If this was your $40 indie game, I would say hell yeah, great game but could do with some improvements. But for this one, I think I just had such high expectations. There was so much hype, and this game was full price, costing me $80. A full farming game playthrough generally takes such a long time, but I finished this game in just 25 hours. While there are quite a few letdowns here, the graphics are not one of them. The game is stunning. It's the perfect art style for a farming game. It's cozy, colourful and beautiful with lots of diverse areas to explore. The character models, however, well, yeah, you can see that for yourself. Not great. I found the music complemented the areas you were in quite well, but it wasn't really memorable or tuney in a way that you'd want to get it on Spotify to re-listen to it like you would with Stardew or Ooblets. So to summarize, graphics A+, characters F, music a solid C+. Also on a separate note, but the character movements were just so satisfying. It's really fluid, you can jump and climb basically anywhere that you can reach. You can swim in the water, and it's just a lot of fun to run and jump around the map. This game has everything it needed. I think it just needs more depth in some areas and a bit more soul. From memory, at the start of the game, the mayor tells you something like the people who sell items at the stalls don't talk much because they're just so darn busy, like it's some sort of excuse as to why they aren't proper NPCs with personalities. I just found that a bit icky. This feels more like a story game to me. You follow the story and you finish the game. I think farming games need a lot more day-to-day content and a lot more soul at that. Anyway, I know a lot of people love this game. It's a pretty good farming game if you take the cost out of it, and if you're willing to spend the hefty price, then by all means go for it. It's not bad, it's just not really good in my opinion. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this review helpful. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!